Okay, looks like may have been having some technical difficulties, but I think we're back now. Let me just make sure everything's good, and then I might actually just start again. Let me get some people in here, and then we can go ahead and make sure everything is going smoothly. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, it looks like everything's going much better now. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a good time. It's going to be kind of a hangout, loud and clear. That's what I like to see. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I really do. Awesome. All right. Well, we have a few people in here. Let's take a look. Actually, it'd be great. Let's start with how AMC is looking. I'm sure you guys already saw this, but man, this got me so excited just to see where AMC is at. I mean, $9.29. They were up 15% today. I mean, what a day. Just gets me so excited to see this. And now in the after hours, they did bounce around a little bit. They got under the $9 mark, but they bounced back. They bounced back strong too. They're at $9.13. So it's just, it's so great. I'm so excited to see everything that's going on with AMC, especially with some of the upcoming DTCC information that we're gonna try to figure out what's going on. Held above 9, which is good. That's true. Like I said, it did go a little under there, but you know what? At the end of the after hours, it did hold above 9. So that's really all you can ask for. At 1163, I think the spike at 1163 was the other day. I don't recall it being today. I think it was back here one of these days. Unless you had one of those weird ones. I know I've seen the ones that some people have talked about. It kind of jumps up to like $15 or okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It jumps up like sometimes they'll jump to $15 or $16 and then they'll just go right back down. And there's a speculation as to what that is. Some people are saying, oh, it's like limit sells that people are testing it. Some people think it thinks it's glitches. I really don't know if I have an opinion on what it could be. I mean, I guess it could be anything really. But I think it'd be a weird system glitch for it to kind of show it bouncing like that. So I'd be very curious for anyone to have like a definitive answer as to what that is. It could be somebody testing a limit sell, but I'm not sure. You would think that the other orders would get filled first before it jumped that high, unless they entered a specific number to try to see if it would get filled. So kind of tricky to speculate as to what that could be, but that's all right. We'll just take a look and we'll see what's going on. So let's take a look. Okay, I think that's it. That's for what I want to cover for the chart setup. I mean, I'm so excited. Hopefully we have like a new level of support sitting around here. Let's see if I can draw a line that I feel good about. Kind of right here. This looks like this may be a new level of support. Hopefully it stays here. If it could stay on this level of support, man, that would be so huge. There was a lot of good news for AMC today. Let me see if I have some of these articles pulled up. So yeah. So, well, obviously I had that $9.29, and there's some speculation as to why it went up today. I think the market did pretty good, and so that could be it. But it could also be something like we're near earnings. So since we're near earnings, it could just be people are trying to get in here and they're trying to ride the earnings. I'm probably going to release a video on the earnings, but kind of I guess a sneak preview is like the earnings. We know it's going to be bad. There's really nothing that they could tell us that we would say, oh no, AMC's like going up in a ball of flame. Like we know that it's just not good. That what is happening is just not. They're not making much money, and I think since most people understand that, that's okay. Like we're okay with that. We're looking more toward the future. Now, if anything actually does go good, that'll be so huge for AMC. I think having their official earnings where maybe more traditional investors or somebody, they would see that and they'd probably get excited about the stock. If we can get people to look at the earnings and say, you know what, I feel okay with this. We could probably get an influx of new investors, new people excited about the stock. I think with today going up 15%, people are probably starting to get excited about it. Remember, a lot of people like to chase these stocks. If we can get somebody to, or if it starts to go up a little bit, I think people are going to start just jumping on it. I think they're going to start just buying into it because they want to ride the wave up, because they might feel like the squeeze is here. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. I haven't even checked the FINRA numbers today. Before I go there though, another catalyst that people say, well, in Market Watch, I don't know, this is what they're saying, but AMC stock soars after price target doubled at Webull. I've never heard of those guys, and maybe I don't know, maybe that makes me sound like a noob or something, but I've never heard of this website or these people or this brokerage. So maybe they're, hey, what's up, WAG? I see you all the time, buddy. I appreciate your support, man. But yeah, so a few good catalysts. Market did well, earnings and this stock price or the target doubling. And granted, let me be clear, it doubled to 5 from 2.5. A lot of people have this low price target for AMC. If you're invested in AMC, I'm sure you probably are just laughing at these numbers, because in my eyes, there's no possible way. New York had a great opening. That might have been another catalyst. So it's hard to say what it really was. Let me get into Fintel, and let's take a look at these updated numbers. If these numbers are good, I'm sure they are good. Let's get in here and let's pull up AMC short interest. Let's see what's going on. Where's my AMC short interest search? Here we go. Excellent. Okay, short volume ratio is 17%. It looks like it went down a little bit, but that's fine. The number that I'm most excited about, the number that I love so much, is this short borrow fee rate. Guys, you can't make this up. This number is steadily going up, steadily increasing, which I love to see. This is so great. There's so many, and gosh, I'm just so excited. There's so many factors that are going into this, and so many factors that could cause this squeeze to happen, like the short borrow fee rate going up, that they're opening, like they're not going bankrupt. They're just, all of these things are compiling, and as long as these people continue to hold, then, man, like, the sky's the limit. It's only whatever you're willing to sell it at, essentially. Now, granted, you're going to have a lot of people selling along the way up, but I feel like a lot of people really want to hold. I think, especially with Wall Street bets, a lot of people have this number of $1,000 in their head. Granted, I'm sure people are going to sell at 100 and 500 and all these other things, but to set such a high standard, a lot of people are going to stick with that. Like, well, I'm curious if they would. I think they would. And I think that'd be pretty crazy. Ooh, thank you, Eddie. Okay, that's a good tip. So actually, let's go ahead and jump into this DTCC stuff, because I think that could be that could be pretty interesting. Let's see. So DTCC stuff was this over here. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So first of all, I'm not sure when this 801 came out. I think it was the other day, but I believe that these 3 additional filings were released today, which is crazy. I feel like there's a lot of stuff, and this is why I'm excited. Like, excuse me. I feel like there's a lot of change that's happening, and if a lot of change is happening, then that could be a great thing. I don't want to get too excited, because I get excited and it's like, maybe they care about us. And realistically, they don't care about us. We brought just enough attention to cause a little bit of a ruckus. But it's hard to say what'll actually happen, if any change will happen from it. Now, for all we know, they're going to use like Melvin or somebody and use them as an example to kind of fail. They did that in what is that movie? Wall Street with Shia LaBeouf, and granted it was a fictional movie, but they essentially let them fail. Spoiler alert. Well, it's at the beginning, but anyways, they let a company fail just to make an example. Like, we're not going to bail you out every single time. And I wonder if they're going to do that just so that, and even if it's to continue playing the game where, oh gosh, now I'm down this conspiracy theory rabbit hole. But anyways, who knows what's going to happen? It seems like they're doing some things, and maybe this is to cover themselves. And if they're trying to cover themselves, that's okay, because I think with them trying to cover themselves, I think we win. And we being any individual person who's in AMC. There's no, I'll just say that, okay? So there's a lot to go over. I do have some articles here pulled up about and I guess I'll say Wall Street Bets, like posts that got a lot of traction. So I want to see what they say, kind of break them down a little bit, and just see what we get. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna try to see if I can understand it. See if we can understand it. It's a lot of oh man, what is it called? Well, just a lot of legal jargon, a lot of acronyms. That's the word I was looking for. A lot of acronyms. So let's start with this first post that I think got the most traction. And so taking a look here, actually, taking a look here, it looks like DCC document posing new rules, or DTCC document. Okay, so I think first we need to start with a few of these terms that we're going to see, and then we can really get into who's what's going on, and all this stuff. So let's start at the very, very top. So we're going to see two kinds of acronyms, several, but the first two we're going to see are NSCC, and that stands for the National Securities Clearing Corporation, okay? And they are a subsidiary of the DTCC, or the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. Now, the NSCC operates as a seller for every buyer and a buyer for every seller in the financial industry for trades that settle in U.S. markets. Now, this is basically saying, from my understanding, that they handle basically every single trade, like, goes through them, which is just insane. How considering I've never really heard of it. I guess I've heard of the DTCC before, but typically as like the clearinghouse or whatever. Let me get a sip here. It looks like Julian wants to know if anyone else is from Europe here. Man, we're in Europe. This is crazy. Absolutely insane. So those are two important acronyms that you're going to see that will help you understand. They're basically entities clearing corporations. Now, another term you're going to see is an SLD, or a supplemental liquidity deposit. And essentially, it's hard to find like a true definition here, but essentially, from my understanding of a supplemental liquidity deposit is, you have to have a certain amount of liquidity, a certain amount of money, in order to, whether if you don't meet the capital requirement or something like that, then essentially they're going to be able to charge you. They're going to say, hey, like, you're kind of a risk here, so we may need to just charge you, okay? And we'll get into that a little more in depth as we continue to look at what's going on. Okay, so new rules. So let's kind of get down here. And so, like I said, I guess I'll read through this really quick so that we can kind of see how crazy this kind of document is to read. It's a wild ride. So let's just get started. So this is obviously a snippet from the official, and here, actually, I think I have the entire snippet here, but taking a look, it says, Second rule. Okay, so this is the rule 4. So this whole new thing. There's been 3 rules already. I'm not sure what those 3 are, but obviously they haven't really been a help at all as far as I'm concerned. But rule 4 is the new one. That is the big deal that everyone's kind of talking about right now. So second, so proposed rule 4A would allow the NSCC to call for additional SLD on an intraday basis on any business day if supplemental liquidity providers' increased activity levels causes NSCC's daily liquidity need to exceed NSCC's qualifying liquid resources. And as I'm reading this, this is just getting more and more confusing. So I think I'm going to skip the technical read, but I hope you guys can see. And let me show you how crazy this document is to read. And this is 79 pages of this insanity that just continues with this kind of jargon and this kind of stuff. To me, I'm sure it makes sense as to why it is, but I think it's so important to just get the gist of it. It seems like they're saying it in 10 different ways just to cover all of their bases so there's no loopholes. But I did not read all 79 pages. I don't know if I could without just like pulling my hair out. So that's that. It looks like essentially the new rule changes basically means that the DTCC can now calculate this fat loss fee every day and even during the day and force a payment. Okay, so they can force the payment. Now, this is huge. If memory serves me correctly, and someone let me know if this is wrong, but this is one of the issues that we had, I think, with the Robinhood. So the people these requirements, and I'm trying to think if that's right. Anyways, basically, I think this will help with the failure to delivers at the very least. Now, let's look at the definition for failure to deliver. Now, whenever a trade is made, both parties in the transaction are contractually obligated to transfer cash, to transfer either cash or assets before the settlement date. Subsequently, if the transaction has not settled, one side of the transaction has failed to deliver. Okay, and another key takeaway, I want to read this one right here. In the case of buyers, it means not having the cash. In the case of sellers, it means not having the goods. Now, whether this would be the shares, and this is where people, I think they talk about the naked shorts, well, where they don't have the actual shares because they're literally made up out of thin air. And it's a tangled web. There's a lot of interesting things going on. And I was watching the Jim Cramer interview where he's just bragging about making all this money because he's doing illegal things some of it illegal, some of it legal, in order to drive I think anything that you do to try to drive the price of a stock down is typically illegal. I'm not sure if he said he spread rumors and stuff, but actually he would spread rumors because he would call these whether they're brokerages or whoever he would call, and he would say, hey, like he used the example of Apple, and he would say, oh, hey, Apple's not going to be able to, or this product's not going to get out, or it was something like that. And he would call, he said specifically 6 different people, and he would call 6 different people, and they would kind of spread their own rumor. They would do it for him, essentially. They would say, oh, like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and it would cause the price of that stock to go down. And he was talking about whenever he was shorting a stock specifically, and they would spend millions to bring a stock down because I guess the payout was going to be that high. He didn't really get into what the payout was, but here's the deal: if you're in the business to make money, you're spending millions to make that money, to invest it in, essentially, into like artificially driving a stock down, then I'm sure he's making a lot more money. You have to be. So those are the failure to deliver. So let's take a look at, so we have those. Let's take a look at this next article, because I did like this one. So, and he got a lot of likes, a lot of attention here. And so again, this is linked. This is official, from the SEC filings. And granted, and no one has talked about. I don't believe anyone's talked about these just yet. These new three. So maybe we'll take a look at that in a second. But taking a look here, you can see, where are we at? Okay, we were here. So he's talking about, okay, from page 37. So let's go ahead and read this thing. This looks a little more readable, or understandable, at least for myself. Maybe somebody understands this pretty easily. From page 37. Each supplemental liquidity provider that has a supplemental liquidity obligation on a business day would receive a notice from the NSCC of the amount of its supplemental liquidity obligation and would be required to make a deposit in the amount of the clearing fund within 1 hour of such notice. Okay, let me read that. Oh gosh, that's the whole sentence again. Let's say, and would require to make a deposit in that amount to the clearing fund within 1 hour of such notice. That is insane. Like 1 hour is so quick. And usually a lot of these big companies, brokerages, whatever you want to, whatever they are, they get a lot of leeway. They have days to or in the case of the failure to delivers, they have days to settle these things, weeks, and then apparently they don't even really have to deliver, and it's just so crazy. I did see another number saying, they have to deliver within X amount of business days technically, but if they don't deliver, they're still forced within like 21 days. Don't quote me on that. That one was a little. It's just a hodgepodge of stuff. Like, in the Jim Cramer interview, he was saying how they could do whatever they wanted because the SEC didn't understand it, and they have these loopholes, and and you have to think about it. Like, think about what you do at your job, and like if you're if you can perform it better than your boss, and most likely you can, and maybe you have some little tricks that you're not telling them, that you can just kind of weave around because they're not doing it every day. They're just making sure that whatever needs to get done gets done. And it sounds like that's basically what's happening. The SEC is these guys' boss, or at least watching them, but they can't. They can hide things. You know what I mean? They can fly under the radar because they've been doing it for so long, and they kind of the little tricks that other people don't know. Again, that's speculation, but excuse me. Let's continue. The proposed timing of a supplemental liquidity obligation would mirror the current requirement that is applied to members' required fund deposits, which is also calculated and collected daily and must be funded within 1 hour of demand. Specifically, the NSCC expects to deliver notification of supplemental liquidity obligations and supplemental liquidity providers by around 8:30 a.m. Eastern each business day, with deposits no later than 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So basically, let's read this part here. So basically, when they give notice, they want their money and they want it now. Everything I've read about these changes so far indicate that they're going to make sure hedge funds will be the first to pay our attendees. They made their bed, and now these rules are going to ensure that they lay in it. This is looking. Okay, let's see what this is. This is looking to me like it may be the catalyst that launches this rocket. If these new rules get approved this week, especially on Monday or Tuesday, you guys better strap in because we're going to the moon. Now, why is he saying this hasn't been approved? Now, taking a look here, you can see the approval Federal Register notice is on this side. And you can see I guess this is the release. And so I suppose we would be looking for approval notice on this one. Now, if we can get an approval notice, man, then all bets are off. You know what I mean? That'll be something else. That'll be huge if we can get that approval, because that approval, especially if we can get it before the quadruple witching on March 19th, that'd be so huge. That would be, man, I don't even know. It would force these guys, and that quadruple witching is going to be big too. I'm going to be making a video on that, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not, because I'm trying to cover all of this stuff. I have so many video ideas, and there's not enough time in the day to make all of these. But hopefully, I'll be in a position soon where I'll be able to maybe do this full time. That'd be awesome. I'd love to make multiple videos a day and just keep up with it. I'm always looking for like the newest news and everything. So let's take a look at the chat section really quick. See what's going on over here. Oh, okay. So it looks like we have somebody from Ireland over here. Man, insane. Julian's from the Netherlands. 252 shares at $8.30. Nice. Hey, thank you, Peter. Yeah. So Peter says, don't be discouraged by hate comments. We want predictions and price predictions. Whether you're right or wrong, we don't care. Well, I try to be right. In a sense, like I know I did my price prediction and I tried so hard to be right, but and maybe I was right, but with those failure to delivers, they're obviously, here's the deal. They've been doing this forever. And they can it seems like they can do whatever they want. They have to deliver the shares. They don't have to deliver the shares. I don't know if there's any kind of fee or penalty for them doing a failure to deliver. I wasn't really able to find anything. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but I don't think I was able to find anything. All I saw was like there's a chain reaction where it just messes things up, but nothing about paying a fee. But even then, if let's say if they're banking on the price to go down, then they don't care. Like and there are so many different things that are going on. I mean, you have to remember, we hit them where it hurts. I'm sure they're spiteful at us. Even they know they're going to have to pay it. And if anything, they're probably hoping that they either have to pay it to less of us, or that we that we just leave or get bored and quit, and then they pay, or the price goes down and then they can do it then. I mean, who knows what their thought process is, but we hit them where it hurts. And even if they have to pay, we talked about this with the Fintel numbers, how people can, who did it? What did they do? They reported to FINRA falsely. They put false information, or Fintel, I'm sorry, Fintel. They reported false information to Fintel, and they were fined $100,000. I saw something today. Where'd it go? Do I still have it up? That they essentially lost. Oh, it was a post. What's this guy's name? It's Eeyore, I think his name. Eeyore, something like that. Twitter. Yeah, this guy. What did he say here? Was it the one from today? He essentially said that we cost them today. We lost them like 99 million. We cost them millions, and we're costing these people a lot of money. Oh, okay. He has the different tickers here, so I just got to find the AMC one. AMC. Okay, it's not on here, but anyways, yeah, we're costing these guys a lot of money. It is insane. So it's crazy how much money these guys are losing. And so back to what I was saying about Fintel, if they report the wrong number, they were charged, I think it was $120,000 in a penalty. They're losing millions a day. You think they care about a $120,000 penalty just so that we're not motivated anymore and we quit and we're not trying? Like, no, they don't care about that whatsoever. They just want us to, they're trying to stick it to us just like we stuck to them. Unfortunately, well, I guess unfortunately for them, we're not going anywhere. We're a lot of people feel like they're potentially bag holders and they're just going to hang on anyways. And I'm not, I'm going to hold until 1,000 or whatever. So I'm not even worried about it. But that's, just some speculation, some theories, and it seems to be what's going on. I think we were able to bring it to the attention of the SEC what's happening, and I think that's why they are filing these. I think that's why they're making these filings, because it's a big deal. Let me take a look at a few more chats. See, Mike got a good entry point. He got not bad. It was $7.26. He got 160. This is good. I bet you it's funny because a lot of people, I bet you they wish they would have bought at the dip at the $5. And, I'm sure $5 was scary. It was like, oh gosh, what's happening? You lose a little bit of that faith, but you just have to know that what you're doing, like me, I just kept buying. I averaged up. I just kept going up because I was like, you know what? I'm going to sink as much money as I can in this. And Okay, don't do this. This is not financial advice. Nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But I was, okay, I'm going to say it. I was using this kind of as a savings account almost. Just putting all my money in here because you know what? You're not going to get this kind of interest, this kind of savings anywhere. You know, if this goes to the end of the year, man, I would not be surprised if this stock was over $30 by the end of the year. I would not be surprised one bit. I'd be like, yeah, well, I figured. That's how sure I am about this stock. And you know, I don't think I'm alone. I'm definitely obviously extremely bullish on the stock. I've been bullish for a long time. And then whenever they announce that they're not going bankrupt, it's just, this is a very, very rare opportunity. I've spoken about this in one of my other videos in where I said, we're in a very interesting part of the stock market. There are very, very few stocks that are like, in my opinion, sure things. In a regular market, you know, so during this whole COVID thing, you know, you can kind of tell, okay, who's going to bounce back, who's coming, you know, there was a big crash and as long as you got in at the bottom of some of these stocks, you know, Disney, Tesla, I mean, a lot of these big ones, Boeing, airlines, basically anything that you bought in was a good time. And that was around March 18th of 2020. As long as you bought in around that time, you're good. You're good. Looks like Cledius wants me to mail him my hat. Oh my gosh. That would be, you guys are so funny, man. Oh my gosh. Maybe that'll be my, what? I'll do oh gosh, that'd be so hard. But I was going to say, I'll do a milestone. Like if I have, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers or something, I'll mail somebody my hat and I'll get a new hat. Oh my gosh. That would be so funny. I don't know if anyone would care about that, but oh my gosh, that's too funny. Yeah, see, Mike, AMC is 42% of his portfolio. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty. Oh gosh, I need to check what percentage of my portfolio is. I will say it's probably 80 or 90. It's the majority of my portfolio. And you know, sometimes I think like I have a lot of FOMO, and I'm sure that's what happens to a lot of people. They get a lot of FOMO. And I think that like, oh, I just want to be diversified, you know, just in case anybody really runs early. Honestly, what I'm kind of hoping for, some of my other stocks, they just like spike, just so I can switch everything over to AMC. That would be my goal. I'd love to just get everything over to AMC and just be done. Dang, 100%. Wow. Yeah. Some people have a lot of their portfolio in here. And you know what? Good for you. I really hope you guys get paid, and I hope you guys get big returns on that. Let's take a look. Mike, I want to look at your stocks, but give me just a second, man. Let me take a look over here at some of these other things. So we were talking about this. So let's see. This, as always, so this guy saying 100K is not a meme. 100K for a stock is kind of high. You know, I was thinking today, and I'm sure there's a good reason for this. In my eyes, if Chipotle can be a $1,300 stock, I don't know. AMC, you know, who knows? You know, this is obviously this is very impressive. I don't know how the heck this happened, but I'm sure, you know, there's a good reason, calculations, all that good stuff. But I was talking to my buddy, and I guess I hadn't looked at Chipotle in either forever or in a long time, and he said, you know, he told me that Chipotle was 800, or I forgot what he said it was, but I was like, what for Chipotle? So it's just, yeah. A lot of people didn't know how big this is. And Chipotle apparently is huge. Like, I would have never guessed. Meanwhile, Tesla is less than half. I mean, who'd have thought? Yeah. So let's take a look here. Let me get through a little more of this, and then let's look at some stocks. I see a lot of requests for just taking a look at some stocks. and I would love to look at those. We can take a look at some chart setups and things like that. Eric has a good point. Tesla has competition now. Yeah, but Chipotle has competition too. I mean, I don't know if they're publicly traded, but there's like Freebirds, and there's a few places that I'm sure kind of compete with Chipotle. Granted, personally, Chipotle is my favorite. I don't know how you guys feel about like Freebirds and all that stuff, but Chipotle is my favorite. I love that place. It's just so they have like less like options compared to Freebirds, but man, it's just so much better. I'm gonna get a sip of my drink right here. I usually drink water. This is a treat for me. Okay. So let's take a look at this. So there's some additional filings here, and something I thought interesting was, let's see, just the subject. So revise the clearing agency investment policy. So like let's open this one. Oops. Okay, here it is. Saw this this jumbo here, and then let's see, text of proposed rule change. The proposed rule change would revise the clearing agency investment policy of fixed income clearing corporation, or FICC, and its affiliates, the Depository Trust Company, or DTC, and National Security Clearing Corporation, and together with the DTC and the FICC, the clearing agencies, in order to enhance the methodology for determining investment limits for investments in bank deposits, and clarify the description of certain investable funds of the Government Securities Division of the FICC as described in greater detail below. You guys see what I'm dealing with here? You guys see me trying to read this stuff? This stuff is so crazy. How they write this. I don't know how anybody reads this. I don't know how anybody writes this. This is a mess. But trying to break that down, it seems like they're talking about the clearing agencies, obviously, and to enhance the methodology for determining investment limits for in bank deposits. Now, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with. It seems like it almost has something to do with these other documents that we've been looking at, like the new rule, because it's talking about these like determining investment limits for investments in bank deposits. It's almost like it's talking about that, but these terms are they're so I want to say big. Like, these words are so big, it's hard to understand. But it's like these, just the way they phrase it and everything. It's not in layman's terms, and that's what we need. Like, maybe this is something. The clearing agencies are proposing to enhance the methodology for setting investment limits and investment caps on bank deposits with a particular counterparty by including consideration of size of the bank counterparty, measured as the total shareholders' equity capital in this calculation. Another proposed. Let me see if there's anything useful in here. For example, investments in a bank. Okay, investments in a bank, deposits with a bank counterparty in an external rating of AAA, or it's capital AAA, or capital A lowercase aa, and total shareholders. Equity capital of $9 billion would be limited to no more than $750 million. However, investments with a bank counterparty with the same external credit rating and total shareholder equity capital of $2 billion would be limited to no more than $300 million. Okay, so it seems like they're saying if you want to, I'm trying to see if you want to deposit, or if you want to trade, or something with this like $2 billion, then you would need at the most, you need $300 million to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Now, there are just some crazy lingo jargon going on here, because I mean, take a look. Like, something as simple as this capital AAA or capital A lowercase aa. I mean, man, those are apparently they're two separate things, and for people to try to understand this is just so crazy. I would love I almost want like a wiki. You know, it'd be great. And okay, I said it here first. So if anybody makes this, I need some credit. A wiki with breaking these things down. I mean, I don't know. That would probably be long, but see this 37-page document. I mean, if someone could just break this down with what the heck it means and gosh, that'd be so great. Especially with, you know, a lot of these documents. I guess they're mostly for big excuse me, what are they called? Like brokerages. But, you know, at the same time, like all these big brokerages, I guess they have these resources to kind of explain it. I wonder if they have a briefing or something, like if they have this and their lawyers talk about it and they have like a big staff meeting and they say, hey, in layman's terms, here's what you can do, here's what you can't do. And maybe at the end they say, here's how to get around it. Like, I mean, maybe, I don't know, that's a joke, but who knows? Let's see. See what's going on in the chat. You got Tesla today for $582.32. Yeah, see, Tesla, man, funny story about Tesla. I'll tell you a quick story. I was going to, so Tesla's been around for a while, obviously. I never really had an interest in investing in it because by the time I saw it, it was up to $600 or something. It was whatever. And I was like, man, I thought about investing, I think around 200, but then the pandemic happened and it was down to, I think like 200 again at the beginning. And I was like, you know what? This is my chance. But the opportunity cost of like, I only had a certain amount of money. Where did I want to put this money? And did I want to put it in Tesla or did I want to put it into something that I was, I don't know, I guess a little more sure of. And I decided to put it in other things. And don't get me wrong, I did very well during the pandemic. It was kind of easy to invest just because everything was just down. I just so happened to get in on the lowest date of March 18th, which was pretty much the absolute lowest of the entire kind of crash. And so I got pretty lucky there. And you know, it's just, I don't know. I just got so lucky, and everything was able to go up. So, you know, just funny things you didn't invest in. I vividly, very very vividly remember GameStop being around $2.50. And I looked at their past. This was around, I think, March of last year or something, or I don't know, whenever they were $2, like around $2.50. And I looked at their 5-year history, and it was just going down for 5 years. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if these guys are really going to recover from this. Oh, that one is probably the one that hurts my heart the most. But you know what? I just wasn't confident in their chart setup. I mean, I didn't like their chart setup, and obviously there were different factors at play, like the long shorts, and for that reason, I missed out on a big opportunity. But you know, a lot of people they say they think about these opportunities that they missed out on. Another one I missed out on was Bitcoin was $4,000 at the beginning of the pandemic, which was at the beginning of the pandemic. I put, I think how much. I think $5,000 in at the beginning, which was basically every single cent of my savings I had. Which again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do that. It's super important to make sure you're okay. You're taken care of. You have money saved. You know, for any kind of emergencies. So, anyways, and so yeah, and I was like, do I want to buy $4,000 Bitcoin? Like, who knows what's going to happen? And while it sucks kind of in hindsight, you know, I feel okay. I made good decisions, and I'm happy with where I am. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. The establishment hates Tesla for messing with their oil profits. Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how you feel about, like, you know, Tesla and all that stuff. Just because, I mean, it just really depends on how you feel about all of these companies. Let's see. So AMC will go up by how much by the end of the year? Here's the thing. I can't say for sure. I'm extremely bullish on this stock. You know, taking a look at, let me think, what's a company that let's see what Play's doing. Look at the max. Okay, so this is not one of them. These guys came up. I was invested in these guys for a little bit. I wrote it up a little bit, but I didn't really. I can't recall where I pulled out at, but I wrote this up for a little bit. There's some companies. Which one am I thinking of? Well, it's funny because I'm mostly. Oh no, I canceled all my stuff. 200 EMA. Why is this happening? 200 EMA and then 15 MA. Great. Okay, just making sure all my stuff is good. But there's a lot of companies. Of course, I don't have any of them pulled up here. What's Disney looking like? Okay, this is great. A lot of companies look like this. Wow. Disney really came up. A lot of companies look like this. They're at all-time highs. Okay, this is something that I'm really I don't want to say I'm banking on, but I'm very confident in this. I just saw an article yesterday or today or something that I think it was all the resorts are booked until April or at April, whenever they're going to officially open. There was something like that, but they're booked out. Like a lot of these companies are going to all-time highs. Why is that? People are missing out. I've been trapped in my house essentially for a year. I've been fairly good at, and I've been very good at staying at home and just not going out and just living in this quarantine. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. You know, it's so hard. I can't wait to be able to go out. Coincidentally, one of my favorite things to do is go to the movies. Just my family had always done it ever since we were little. We'd go to the movies all the time, and it was our thing. Like every weekend we would go see a movie. And it was just so great. We had the best time. And so I love this. But a lot of stocks, of course, none come to my mind while I'm like sitting here, but they're going to all-time highs. So let's take a look at AMC. Now, granted, it does take a little bit of time for them to get here, but the max. Let's look at the max. Man, sometimes Webull does this. It just like zooms you in so far. Can we look at weeks instead? Okay, let's just look at the max and let's just accept what it gives us. So this is fine. So looking here, the all-time high was 33.51. And now, will we get here by the end of the year? I would say anything is possible with AMC. Excuse me, at this point. Anything is truly possible. These guys can go anywhere. And if these guys continue to go up, then we're going to get here. Right now, we're in such a tricky part because all of these guys are like, we're just being, there's a lot of, I would say, I just want to say this the right way. I don't want to say a lot of hands in the pot, but there's a lot of outside forces, I would say. I feel like, especially with what's going on with the hedges and everything, I feel like if they were to just let this stock go, it would really run just on its own. Just on its own, because there's so many people invested in it that it's going to be hard for them to not go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm so bullish on AMC, and I do feel like they're going to reach this. And this is granted. I want to be crystal clear. I think this is without any kind of squeeze. I think this is worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, we're looking at $30 by the end of the year or whatever. Now, with the squeeze, obviously, who knows? 1,000 seems to be the current favorite, and if that's the favorite, if that's what happens, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it all day. I would be very happy to that. AMC to 100, AMC to 1,000. So as you can see, a lot of people having their own thoughts and opinions on where this could go, and if it does go up, that'd be great. In my opinion, where do I think AMC will be at the end of the week, end of the month? Okay, so. I mean, end of the week is hard to tell. I think I do have a call option for $13. And the reason I bought it, I'll tell you why, is in the off chance that it does skyrocket, then that would be great. And I guess I said off chance, but you know what? With these new filings, I'm curious to know, well, I guess they're not in effect yet. I don't think they're in effect just yet, just because of it doesn't have any kind of approval or notice or anything. But if these do go into effect, man, I think these guys are going to try to cover so quickly. Something I need to look into, and I do have what is it? I'm going to be releasing a video pretty soon on the quadruple witching. That'll go more into depth and have more definitive answers on what's going to happen exactly on that day, or at least what the four parts that are going to be revealed may show. But anyways, so back to that $13 call I was talking about. So I have it for Friday, and that's just in case it does skyrocket. If these guys get scared and they try to cover like within the next few days or who knows what, then it'll be good. Since the call was so far out of the money, let me see if I have it here. If I can see it here, it was no, this isn't right. Was it for? Oh, it's not this Friday. No. I did a call for a few Fridays out, and that's just because it was just so cheap. I don't see it here, but anyways, I had done a call, and it's just a little because it's far out of the money and it was cheap. So I decided, you know what's the harm? I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll go ahead and just we'll make it happen. And if it reaches it, excellent. I'll be sitting pretty. And if it doesn't reach it, then that's okay. I took a risk, and I hope that it reaches there. It really wasn't that high. I really think it's like $13. And if it reaches there, then I'll be happy. I'll be more than happy with that. End of the month. Man, that was all one question. Man, I'm just rambling. So, where I think it'll be at the end of the month, with this new stuff that came out, I'll say this. I think that if this happens, we're gonna have some huge movement. If this is like approved, if this is real, if this goes into effect, I think we're gonna have some huge movement, because this is going to just probably scare the shorts into covering, or they're going to be forced to cover. Now, granted, I don't know what happens if they don't cover and they're forced to cover. What happens, I don't know what'll happen internally with their systems or whoever, but that could be crazy. We could very well see the squeeze this month. I don't want to make anybody any promises, because people get really disappointed and really hurt and discouraged. And that's not the time. Like we don't need to be discouraged right now. Right now, we just need to be comfortable with where we are. I'll give you an example. This right here, we ended at $9.29 today, up 15%. And you know what? In the aftermarket, it went down. It went down below $8. And you know what I said? No problem. The stock market. Let's go back and look at. We'll look at Disney. Where was Disney? The stock market goes up and down and up and down and up and down. But look, eventually, look at this. It goes in one direction, just like the band. It goes in one direction and it's going up. Okay, and that is what I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to the gains. And now, again, you have to think, in my personal opinion, you have to think of this as a long-term play. If you're in it, if you're putting money that you can't afford to put in it, and you're waiting for it to spike on March 19th, and if for any reason it doesn't, then and you're in late on your bills, and now credit cards or whatever, interest is building, who knows, but that's not the way to play it. Your anxiety, your mental health is not going to be good, and you need to take care of number one. You need to take care of yourself. Take care of your family, take care of your bills, take care of you, and then worry about this. And that, I think that's so important to having those diamond hands. Paper hands are scared hands, and they can't afford to lose this money. Okay, a lot of people who are in this stock, they can't afford to lose their money, and in my opinion, it is a safe bet, but you still need to take care of yourself. Peter has a prediction for you guys. He says $140 by the end of the month. Peter, that would be excellent. I accept. What else do we have going on? Let's take a look. Can someone explain with DD how AMC will go beyond $50? Okay, so this one's a little bit tricky, but let's take a look at GameStop. A lot of this is basically being compared to GameStop. And remember, so basically what's happening is AMC's heavily shorted. There's a lot of short positions going on, okay? And it's important to remember that these shorts are essentially are just bleeding. But I'm not going to get into the whole story here. Let's take a look here. So GameStop, GME. I want everyone to keep in mind that Roaring Kitty, aka Deep Effing Value, aka Keith Gill, has been in GameStop since I think it was 2019 because he saw that the short interest was high. So if I can find 2019 here, where am I? Let's look at let's just look at the 1 year. So let's just go back here. Okay. So let's just start here. We'll start right here. So $2.50. Oh, this is when I was going to buy in. The PTSD is real. So let's take a look here. This was, we'll just say January for April. We'll say this is April. Well, it is April. And let's go. So these guys are at $2.57. Okay. No. And look, just look how like, it looks like it's fast, but it's not. Look, here's April. Here's May. Okay. Sideways. June. Sideways. July, sideways, kind of, down from April. Okay, August, this is months. This was around April 1st here. And look, August 1st, this is months. This is 4 months in the making. Okay, now let's move. They had a little run, right? Okay, so now they went from, let's just say $4 to, let's give it $8.45. We'll call this top here. It doubled. Now, this is something so important that I think people in AMC need to understand. What are you going to do here? Okay, you doubled your money. What, is that the squeeze? Are you going to sell? Well, let's see. What happens if you sold? Okay, well, guess what? You just missed the run to 11. Okay, well, surely we're done now, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to sell? Okay, well, what happens if you sell? Okay, you just missed the run to $14. We just went from, if you got in at $2, let's say you got here, let's say you missed the bottom, which is, no one can time the bottom. Let's say you missed the bottom. Let's say you got in at $4. You're now at $14.80. Okay, so what do? You sell now, right? Like, the squeeze is done. Well, is it? Okay, $15.87. Okay, we had a little retracement. So we're back at 11. So again, if you bought in at 4, you're still up. You are up. And look, bounces back. This right here, I guarantee people got so scared, and that's why it fell. It just retraced, a hard retracement. But look, 19. We're now from 4 to 19. 22. Look at this. What is this? 43. I mean, come on. This is insane. Look at this. And again, just to be crystal clear, I don't want anyone to think this was overnight. I know it looks like a small chart. This is not. Look, here's April 3rd, okay, so around here. And this is all the way. This is January 12th. Look at this. January 13th is this 45 or 40. No. I misspoke. Is around here. So let's say 40. So 38.50. Okay. So all the way. That's a long time. Okay. These are diamond hands. Again, Roaring Kitty was holding all the way since 2019. I think it was mid 2019, something like that. He was holding all that time. And then you just continue. And look, one day, when you least expect it. Oh, look at this. We're not even there yet. So now look, 159. We just jumped in. Is this one day? 22nd to the 25th. Okay, this is the weekend. So, yep. So we went from the 22nd. So this is Friday, Monday. We just jumped all the way up here to $159. Granted, this is the top. So the chances of you buying or selling at the top is very rare, but you don't need to. If you got in at $4, you're good. And so that's the tricky part. And now, boom, here you go. Something extremely important. Actually, I'm glad I saw this because I want to bring this up. Something extremely important to keep in mind is it took not only did it take a long time, but we had a few days of running. This ran. So let's look at these numbers really quick. Let me see if I can bring this a little closer because this is. Let's do the 1 hour. And let's find where we are. Oh boy. I gotta go back. Looking for January 27th. Okay, here we are. I should have done the 1 day. Okay, so let's go back. Where are we at? January. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is extremely important to realize and keep in mind, okay? So now we are here, or we are not here. So let's look at here, and let's look at this day. So this is, well, no, I don't want to do that. We're looking, let's go to the top day. And let's go a few days before. This is perfect. So this is the 21st. The 21st, you're at around, let's say $41. The next day, you're at $68. The next day, you know, you were anywhere in here. Let's give it the high. Let's just give it the highs, okay? 157. The next day, and this is important. I want you guys to notice that I'm saying the next day. I'm saying the next day because, you know, the squeeze is gonna take a few days. Now, whether this was a gamma squeeze or the squeeze, I couldn't tell you. But notice how these numbers kept going and going and going and going. It took days, and before it took days, it took months to go up. And I think that's super important. I'm trying to spread that kind of word that it took a long time. And then whenever you think you're there, it goes a little further and a little further. And then Robinhood just cuts you off. And they ruin all the momentum and they ruin everything. So something super important. Man, I know I went on and on about that, but I think that was a super important part. Super important point to make. I need people to understand that. So let's take a look. Okay, I see we got a lot of things going on in the chat. Let me see if I miss anything important here. Oh, Eddie. Okay, thanks for reminding me, man. Let's go back to our main topic here, okay? So let's go to page 58 and 59. I hope those are short pages because this stuff is scary. Page 58. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Liquid source. I'm trying to see if I see anything super important. Is there a specific part of 58 and 59? Because this is a hard read. This is a very hard read. Let me take a look. I guess while I'm taking a moment, I'm gonna take a sip of water. But hey, I appreciate everybody tuning in to join the stream. This is so awesome. I'm glad we're hanging out. This is a good time. I'm having a great time. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, it really helps me. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing. I'm doing a lot of coverage on AMC. I'm trying to release a video every day. And actually, I was actually thinking about doing something. And I suppose while I have all you guys in the chat. Actually, I have a few things. So let me do a few things here. So I'm gonna do let's do a straw poll. Oops, clicked on the ad. Let's create a poll. And let's do, what stocks do you guys want me to cover? I want to cover the stocks that you guys want to see. I tried asking before, but I didn't get like a good response. Like no one really answered what you guys wanted to see. Stocks to cover. So while I'm filling this out, please be sure to like and consider subscribing. You know, I'm thinking about going live in the evenings just because it'd be a good time. Like, we can take a look at what happened with the day. I know a lot of people work during the day. Like, I work during the day. I get on around 9 a.m. and then I'm off at like 5. But it's so I can't really, you know, do too much all day. But I would love to hop on at night when everybody's home, ate dinner, just kind of hanging out, and we can see what's going on. Okay, so let's see. Okay, choose an answer. So we'll do GME. We'll do PLTR. Oh, crud. Let's go back. What? What is the other one? Any recommendations in here? I see a lot of OZSC. What else do we have here? Oh, AMC CEO just spoke on Fox. Maybe we'll take a look and we'll see. We'll see what they say. CTRM. Thank you. That's the one I was thinking of. Can we have write-ins? I don't know if we can have write-ins. That sucks. But let's see what else we have. You guys want Tesla? Tesla. Sens, of course. I made a video on Sens. RKT. Can you vote for multiple? Allow multiple choices. Excellent. We'll do some ZOM. Okay, I can only cover so many. So, oh gosh, I'm getting scared. I'm gonna put the ones that are kind of popular. Okay, great. So I think this is pretty good for now. I feel pretty good about this list. And as we continue, man, I'd love to cover all these stocks, guys. Like, I want to cover everything that you guys want to see. I mean, it's just so much fun to learn about these new companies, see what's going on. It's a good time. So let me go ahead and create this poll. And I think I can just copy this. Let's just share. And I should be able to, I think I can just copy this link, right? Let me see if I put it in another browser, if it works. One second, just bear with me here. Yeah, okay, that works. Okay, let me go ahead and put this link in for you guys. Perfect. Oh, SOS, I forgot SOS. Kind of add. Dang. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start with those for now, and we'll see what's going on. I'd love to cover all of them, so hopefully I'll be able to soon. Can we get a live straw? Can we see it? Let's vote. Results. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Actually, I'm going to let this trickle in for a second. Let's take a look at what we have going on. Let me check the chat some more. Make sure everybody's doing good, getting taken care of. Taking care of business. A lot of stocks in here. Appreciate it. So I wonder if there's any news. So Fox, I spit fix, Fox News, AMC CEO. So usually they'll have, oh gosh, nothing yet. I was hoping to see some kind of update saying this is what happened, yada yada. What was discussed. So not really seeing anything just yet, but I'll probably stream here for another maybe 15 or 30 minutes. I guess we'll see how the time goes. Let's see what else we have going on. So, and I want to know, what are you guys thinking about these DTCC rules? It seems like it's a good thing, right? I mean, does anyone? Oh, check YouTube. Okay, I'll check YouTube in a sec. Or if you can find if you find a link or anything, Juice, can you? Oh, it's on YouTube right now. Oh, it's on YouTube right now. Oh, YouTube.com. Fox News. Can we watch this live? Live. I don't know how to find this. I'm not looking for Fox News all the time. Aired hours ago. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry. We'll see. AMC CEO. So that's a good question. So I do want to make that clear. I do not know when this rule is going to go into effect. I'm not sure. Actually, that's what he was trying to tell me. I'm so sorry. So he wanted me to look at pages. Somebody wanted me to look at pages. Let me make sure I'm in the right one. So it's, oh boy, 801. Okay. So it was 58, I think it was. Okay, here we go. This is what he was trying to get me to read. The proposed change may be implemented if the commission does not object to the proposed change within 60 days of the later, whatever I is, date that the proposed change was filed with the commission or the date any additional information requested by the commission is received. So, as usual, I have no clue what they're trying to say here. Now, 58... yeah, 58. Okay, yeah, I found it. Thanks, Eddie. You're right there when I need you, man. So now, okay, so they're saying a proposed change may be implemented in less than 60 days. Okay, so I guess it depends. I'm unfortunately I'm not really familiar with the inner workings of the. Sorry if I can't post the links. So unfortunately, I can't really say. I don't know the inner workings of the SEC. Now, are they going to have to vote on it? Are they going to have to, can they just pass it? I have no clue if it's like, the Senate or something. Unfortunately, I'm just limited in my knowledge of how this works. Just because, it's really, I guess it doesn't really affect me too much, which is a terrible answer for anything. But so we'll have to see. People seem to be, I mean, obviously on Wall Street bets, they're extremely hopeful, extremely bullish. They think that it's going to just work. And they think it's going to just work in their favor immediately, all this stuff. Obviously, I'm excited too. I'm very, obviously, extremely bullish. I'm very hopeful. I'm an optimist. And I think that I would hope that this is implemented soon. The best thing ever. Man, unfortunately, it's not letting you guys post links. I don't know if I can change that. I'm sure there's a very, very good reason as to why it does not let you. But okay, it looks like Eddie's going to give us the gist of it, and I would love. Now, how will the new rule of the DTCC affect a short squeeze? That's a great question. I can't say for sure, but I do like the rule. If it actually works, we have rules. We have there's a bunch of different things. People need to buy the shares. They need to, all this stuff. But as I found, I mean, look, they're supposed to buy the shares, right? But look, now but there's failure to delivers. They can have failure to delivers. They're not supposed to. Again, I can't find if there's a fee or anything that they have to pay if they fail to deliver. But it seems like a lot of these are essentially a slap on the wrist. Like, it's just a slap on the wrist. It's a small fine or something like that. And granted, I'm saying small fine, but and I'm only talking about the Fintel false reporting. False reporting to Fintel was like 120,000, which is chump change to these guys. Jim Cramer said he would spend millions just trying to make a company look bad, to short a stock and make his positions, and just make money. That's all these guys want to do. They want to make money by essentially any means necessary. In my opinion, they're not playing by the rules, and it seems like the SEC knows that they're not playing by the rules, which is why they're implementing these new rules. If you're not going to follow the rules, then we're going to have you. I can't even find it anymore. So many pages open. If you're not going to follow the rules, then we're going to make stricter rules, and you'll follow those. Now again, let's say there's this new rule, right, where they need to pay it within the hour allegedly. Now, if they need to pay it within the hour, then what happens if they don't? Are they fined? Are they fined $100,000? Is it $100,000 every hour, like a ransom note or something? It's $100,000 every hour while they're late. Who knows? And I'm hoping for somebody smarter than me to come out and just really break this down. This way, I can kind of either we can find it together or I can share the information with you. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, I hopped on this live stream with really just so we can talk about it. Like, I want to have a dialogue with you guys. Like, I want to be able to talk about these things and say, hey, like, here's what happened. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can figure this out. There's a lot of people in here, and hopefully we can figure this out. Okay, it looks like Eddie has a little update for us. Juice, I'm going to read your comment in just a second. Oh, okay. No, I'm going to read this first about the YouTube video about the AMC CEO. It says, as vaccinations continue, movie theater capacity limits will go up pretty rapidly. And, well, that's the gist of the video apparently, and that's huge. Like, this is what I've been banking on this entire time. These things going up, and as long as these continue, as long as the vaccine continues to roll out, economy's opening, all this stuff, people are going to be able to go out and do things. Remember, they held back a lot of movies. I'm very curious to know what 2022 is going to look like when it comes to movies, because a lot of these movies for this year have kind of been pushed out. I'm curious to know if they are going to bring some back, like just move up their release date, or if they're going to keep them where they are currently and kind of spread them out. But I think unfortunately, I think a lot of Marvel phase, whatever phase we're in now, 4, I think a lot of it has been pushed out, which kind of sucks. We just had WandaVision, but I look forward to Marvel. I mean, who doesn't really love Marvel? Let me get another sip. Daniel, that's a great point. Their $600 million AMC debt is paid off. Wait, is this their new debt that they just got? Let me see if we can clarify that. But okay, it looks like Eddie's giving me an update. So Hedges have 48 hours to cover rather than the 21 days that they had. And I'm assuming this is from this document. It looks like you've been looking into it, Eddie. Man, that's great, man. I appreciate that. So again, this is from the chat. So just kind of take this with obviously a grain of salt. You know, we're doing our best to interpret this. I'm not sure if this looks like a breakdown for a simple mind like myself. So just take it for what it is, and I wouldn't hold it to law or anything. Okay. So second part, this proposal will go live in 60 days of the date of the letter. So March 5th. This is where the May 4th. This is where May the 4th gains hype. Okay, I see. The SEC says nothing. Oh, if the SEC says nothing, okay, then it will go live. And then if the SEC denies it, then it goes for appeals. Okay, so it looks like this is probably going to miss the March 19th one, the quadruple witching. But I'm excited about that quadruple witching anyways. Like I said, I do have a video coming out on that. I have a theory, and I don't want to say my theory just yet. But if my theory is right, then that could be a good day. And I kind of like having milestones for people to look forward to. Excuse me. Just because this is a very... It's going to sound so kind of dramatic, but this is a difficult time for people. They're counting on the squeeze. They're hoping on the squeeze. They're just like, they're waiting for it. And they can't wait for them to finally be able to just squeeze and do it. And hopefully this will give, I think these little dates are kind of like milestones. You know what I mean? Like let's it's like a kind of like I want to say like a sprint, and if you've ever done any kind of work sprint, development sprint or whatever, you kind of you push hard, and sometimes it's weeks and sometimes it's months, but you do a hard push. And then you kind of like, okay, reevaluate. You do a hard push and you reevaluate. And I hope that that's what people are kind of doing here. Like, I want them to be able to understand that it's, you have to hold, and it's difficult, especially if you're scared that you don't know what's going to happen. But you just have to have that confidence, that conviction that what you're doing is right and that it's going to happen. Okay. I'm still holding strong. Diamond hands, ape strong. I love it. I love it. Let's see what else we have going on here. Let's check our poll. Okay, we have one per. Can I refresh this? Here we go. Okay. So SENS. Okay, great. So I do have a video on SENS. Looks like CTRM. You guys really want that CTRM video? I had a bunch of UAMIs in my video from last night about on SENS, and it's so interesting. I wonder if a lot of people are looking at these similar stocks just for good reason. For example, like I wonder if a lot of people are looking at maybe like trade stocks. So he likes SENS, Mavis, or I guess that they're Microvision. He likes his stocks, and I thought that a lot more people would kind of be in a similar boat, just kind of following him. But I kind of like to find my own stocks. I have a stock that I'm excited about. It's my second largest position, and I'm gonna make a video on that. And no one's talking about it. It's kind of like my secret little thing, but I'm gonna release the video. I just want to make sure I have all the facts before I start talking about it. But that's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. Eddie's bullish on the 19th. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. The 19th could really have some serious upside potential. This SEC filing, I believe, was released yesterday or today or something, and I think it was yesterday, and that it's a big deal. Right now, I'm sure these hedge funds and stuff, I'm sure they're looking at like what is going on, and I'm sure they're trying to figure out, oh snap, like what are we gonna do? Like, are we going to? And I'm sure they're game planning right now, which I think they can game plan as much as they want, but as long as we hold, we'll be fine. I'm probably going to start wrapping up and heading out here in just a few minutes. So let's just take a look. I'm going to refresh this one more time towards the end. But so I guess to kind of sum up, it seems like I haven't looked at CTRM yet. I know what they are. I think they're the maritime business, the ships and stuff. I haven't looked into it too much, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. What are your thoughts about the rumored stock recount on March? Here's the deal. I've tried looking up about the stock recount. I keep hearing about the stock recount. I can't find any information on any kind of stock recount. If you guys have a link for me, please tweet it to me. I think that'd be a good way for me to find it. And also follow my Twitter. It's at isitabuy. I don't think I'm logged in here, but will it even show up? I don't even think I rank. Wow, this is incredible. So this is me. I try to give a little bit of motivation, let you guys know if I have like a new video or something. But this is me. Feel free to follow if you want. But if you have any kind of information on that recount, I'd be so interested to read on it. Like I said, I tried finding it, but I couldn't find anything. Like, I don't even know. I know it's a rumor, but I have no clue. I'm just so confused about it. Okay, let's see. All right. I know stimulus. I'm curious what people are going to do with their stimulus checks. I think that week or something, it's probably going to be a good week. I think it was an article that said like half the the stimulus money is going to go into the stock market. And you know what? I believe it. I really believe it. Wall Street Bets has grown by literally, what was the number? I looked at it the other day. It was 6 million since the first of it grew a lot. I don't know. It has grown by millions and millions, by well over 5 million since this whole pandemic stuff happened. It's insane. Yes. I almost said it a fourth time. But yes, Daniel, you're doing great, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody being here. I am going to start wrapping up. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button and consider subscribing. You know, I do plan on being on here a lot more. I really like this night stream. I think I'm gonna try to stick to some kind of night stream schedule. That might be pretty cool. And we can just talk about what happened during the day. Like I said, I know a lot of people work during the day, and in the morning it's just hard to keep up. Then you get home, you have to cook dinner or do whatever you got to do, and then you finally get relaxed, and it's like, man, just so stressful. It's like, and then it's like, oh, what did I miss out on now all day? So yeah, maybe we'll do a stream. Maybe a few times a week or maybe every night. So we'll see about that. That'll be pretty cool. Mr. Opportunity, does he read chat? I do read chat, Mr. Opportunity. I've been. Welcome to the stream. I can tell you just joined because I've been reading the chat the whole time, my friend. But okay, I think that's what I have for now. Hey, I appreciate every single one of you being here. I'm seeing the support, and gosh, I don't want to get all sappy, but I appreciate it, guys. I truly do. I never in a million years would have imagined anything like this. So I thank you all. Consider sharing. Like I want to talk to your friends. I want to talk to your family. I'm thinking about actually releasing a funny video about if your friends or your family is skeptical about what in the world you're doing investing in AMC. You kind of play the video for them. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I love the gorillas in the chat. Oh my gosh, this is so. I feel like trades right now. You guys have no idea. But okay. I'm rambling on. Roblox, man, that's one of the ones I want to make a video on. I have so many ideas. I just literally don't have enough hours in the day, and it's rough, but that's okay. We're gonna figure this out. Hey, thank you all again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I may look into doing another live stream, maybe in a day or two, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. Pretty good voting over here. And that's it. I appreciate you all. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon. All right. Peace.